Taking this because it's the 50th anniversary of, in my opinion, this is the greatest car chase movie of all time. And this is basically Jaws, before Jaws. It's Jaws because Duel, basically in 1975, he made Duel on Water. It's basically what it is. This is basically Jaws. If you love Jaws, you'll love this. Yeah, they don't have the dialogue. This is not about dialogue. It's basically mostly a silent movie with a great score by Billy Goldenberg. It's basically what it is. Because it is. There's not much talking. And when there is, the dialogue, yeah, it's not going to be amazing. You're not getting Tarantino level dialogue. You're not getting, Western, good, bad, ugly, amazing dialogue. You're not getting amazing dialogue. But the dialogue is very well written. It's written by the guy that actually, he had a duel in real life. Fun fact, on the day JFK was assassinated, he almost got killed by a truck driver. He is the guy that wrote a couple Twilight Zone episodes. He wrote the book I Am Legend. Yeah, Richard Matheson. He is the writer of Duel. He made the screenplay. And, yeah, 3 scenes were added in. But overall, yeah, the main film was written by him. Again, they added 3 scenes in. I'm not sure if he written them, but, the phone call was one of them. The other one was the bus scene and the train scene. Some of those were the best scenes in the film. In the TV version, they weren't in it. It's hard to imagine, but you don't know when they were going to cut to commercial either. So, yeah. And again, this is a film, because Duel and Jaws, they're my favorite Spielberg films, because Spielberg and Hitchcock are my favorite directors. Spielberg's number 1, Hitchcock's number 2. Duel and Jaws are very similar to Hitchcock films. If Jaws was made by Hitchcock, that's what it would be made by. Duel is like Hitchcock. It's a very Hitchcocky film, and that's why I fucking love it. It's very similar to Hitchcock. So, and again, there's so many scenes where you can't breathe. As Spielberg said, what he learned from Hitchcock was never let the audience off the hook. You never know anything. You never know anything. Everything just goes bad. It's so damn suspenseful, and again, even though you don't know much about the character, there's not much dialogue. You already care for the character. You already say, oh, well, who's the truck driver? This is a Hitchcock film that Spielberg made, just like Jaws. I like this better. I know there's so much more, there's so much more stuff in Jaws. Like, Jaws probably is the better film, but I like Duel more. Again, I've seen this over 100 times, at least. I don't think I'm lying. I've seen it on VHS probably 50 times as a kid. DVD, maybe 10. The Blu-ray, a couple. I don't know. I think I've seen it 100 times. I have watched this film so many times. There's new things I witness. On the Blu-ray, you can see the truck driver a bit more, which is pretty cool. But this film is just, I think it's flawless. It's a masterpiece. It's the best car chase movie ever. It's the gold standard. It is the gold standard because the stuntmen were amazing. The stunt work by Kerry Lofton and Bob, whatever his name is. His name is the other guy, Dale something. I think it was Dale. I don't know what it is, but Dale blah blah blah. They were amazing. Dennis did a lot of his driving, but the stuntman for the Valiant, or the Red Car, whatever you want to call it, he did most of the dangerous ones, but Kerry Lofton did all the truck driving, of course, because you never see him, and he was amazing. And one part, when they went in the phone booth, he was going to turn, and that was one take. If Dennis didn't leave the phone booth, he was going to turn. So, again, the safety by him was amazing. And yeah, that was real. Just like when he went down the cliff, he literally jumped out. Like, this guy, he was one of the best stuntmen of all time, because literally, stuntmen back then, stuntmen make more money now, but back then they'd be nothing. And he literally almost died. He almost died. So, I think it's crazy that he almost died. Really? Yep. That's what happened. And again, amazing film. A lot of things I've watched for years I don't get. When he crashes into the white fence, and there's a guy right there. There's a couple moments where I'm like, that's a serial killer. There's that snake lady. That is a different horror movie. I really do think it's just messed up. I don't get that place, but you know, like when he crashes, I thought that was Chuck, but then the guy with the chef hat is Chuck, and it's like what? Like there's so many things you don't know. Like that standing guy, why is he there? You know what? Why is he there? Like I don't get it. I always thought he was pissed off, but then he out when he goes back, he's still there. It's at least 30 minutes of a guy in the desert, just standing. Like what is he doing? Like there's so much stuff that makes no sense in this movie, but it's amazing because you don't know anything. It's like Twilight Zone. It really is. It's like everything's against him, and somehow like he's the only one like that knows this. Everybody's against him. It's Twilight Zone, it's Hitchcock, it's everything I love in one. Like, it's amazing. And, again, as Richard Matheson said, it's not a duel until the ending, which is a duel. Where, he's happy and crying because it's over. His car's wrecked, but it's over. It's over. What the hell's gonna happen after? He probably dies, or maybe someone finally rescues him, but you don't know. You don't know. It's a great film. If you love car chasing movies, it's great. If you love Spielberg, it's great. It's a great film, and it's so many scenes that are great. Though I mean, there's so many scenes. I mean, we can talk about the first time he goes to the gas tank. First of all, the gas tank spills all this gas on his car. Like really, that guy should be fired in seconds. But he's one of the guys that's actually nice to him. He's like, he's gonna get stuff. All the phone calls on and stuff, and then Dennis Weir for some odd reason blocks a lady going to a laundromat. It's like, dude, don't put your foot on that. That's disgusting. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that just makes no sense. But yeah, a lot of stuff in this. There's a couple lines. I guess there's a couple lines. I mean, some part of the bus scene. It's like there's kids on the hood. He says, "Get off the hood," but then at the end he jumps on the friggin' hood. I mean, that's a hypocrite right there. I mean, are you kidding me? And then Mr. Pfeiffer, which is the truck driver. It's like, oh, Mr. Pfeiffer, that guy's stuck too. Oh no. Like, he is really dumb, by the way. Like, there's a lot of dumb characters. And then he thinks there's a cop. And then it's a pest control guy. Like, it's the randomest thing. And I always thought if there was a remake, that should be Jackie Chan doing a backflip on the car. I just think that would be perfect. So basically, there's so many random scenes I've seen for so much years. And this is the first film. It is the best debut ever. The best car chase movie ever. I mean, there's so many things. And people still get inspired by him. And Spielberg, for many of his films, was inspired by other films. So, yeah, this is a great film. It's 50 years old. I cannot believe that. 50 years old. I mean, Spielberg just proves, look, he's like a classic director. Like, even films are like 40 years old. This is a classic director. Like, some of these directors in the 70s, you can say, and 80s, are classic directors now. This guy has really made movies for so long, and he did movies before in 1979 to 69 of Columbo, of Night Gallery. He's done a lot of those, and they're really good shows. And those are pretty well done, well made episodes. Not amazing episodes, but they're really good episodes. So, I mean, this kid just came in and became the greatest director ever. So, and this is where it started. It started as his first film in Duel. I know there was like the Sugar Line Express or whatever that's called. And then Jaws. And then Close Encounters and Raiders, E.T. I mean, basically all the early stuff. And that's basically the best of him. All the early stuff is the best of Spielberg when he was more dark. He had violence. He really didn't give a crap about violence. He didn't give a crap. So yeah, this is a really essential film. Like, this is the gold standard of Spielberg too, not just car chase. But I think for Spielberg, this is the gold standard. I really do. I really believe this is the gold standard of Steven Spielberg. And you got Duel, you got Jaws, you got Jurassic Park, you got E.T., you got Indiana Jones. I mean, those are the gold standards. And this is one of them, in my opinion. I mean, it's so good. I've seen it so many times. I know every scene. I know every second of this film. I don't need to watch it immediately and review it, because I know it. I love this film. Dennis Weaver was a very good actor back in the day, and Spielberg, watching Touch of Evil, saw his screaming and his comedy, I guess, He really thought he was the perfect guy. That he said that was the perfect guy, and he was. I mean, in Jaws, he could have been where Schneider was, but for Schneider, just how can he not be Chief Brody? But Dennis Weaver, I think, would have done a perfect job as well. So, you know, it's just a perfect film. It's so suspenseful. There's not a dull moment, and it's well shot. The cinematography is actually really good. The editing is pretty good. Not the best editing, but I do like the editing in the film. So yeah, 50 years, and it's still going strong. And again, if you haven't seen it, you really should check this out. Like, if you're a Spielberg fanboy, if you love Spielberg and you love film, and you haven't seen this, you have to check it out. I mean, this is a must-see. It is great. It is so good. I mean, it's one of my favorite films of all time. It might be my favorite. Back to the Future might be my favorite, but this might be my favorite as well. It is just so good. There's nothing wrong with this film at all. So that's basically the commentary analysis of Duel, the 50th anniversary. It's just it's a timeless classic that will stand the test of time. 50 years and still stands the test of time. Just like Charlie Chaplin films, Citizen Kane, they stand the test of time. And this is one of those films that's still doing that for me. It never gets old. It's from 1971. You know, it's just, this was the start of such a legendary career, and it's, again, I really think it's one of the best films ever made. It's just so damn good. So basically, that is my review or comment. Not really a review, it's a commentary, because I did spoil a lot of scenes, and I mean, there's just so many sequences that are great. So that's basically, this is the Duel commentary. I will be making more, mostly of the films. The films, I think I have to at least see these films 5 times. I have to love these films mostly. I'm thinking of other ones to do. I mean, there's so many. So, you know, but yeah. If you haven't seen my channel, please subscribe, because I make films reviews, I make film commentaries. These are the types of reviews I'm gonna make. Yeah. Films I'm passionate about, I will, you know, make reviews and commentaries on. I will be making really bad movie reviews. I'm gonna be making new movie reviews. I'm thinking of doing you know, the Kong Godzilla. I kind of think I gotta watch that again to make a review of it. I remember Tenet. I've seen that last year. I have to review that. Like, some of the new movies that, you know, a lot of people know about. You know, like the Bob Odenkirk Nobody movie. That I have to talk about. I think I'm gonna talk about the No Man's Land movie. Like, some movies I've watched recently, because there's some new movies I just haven't seen, and I've finally seen them. But this is the commentary of Duel.